All right. I'm going to be talking about assignment 7.06, writing an argument. So you are going to take the information that you have gathered already in module 7 and then put it into body paragraphs, okay? So just a little bit of a review. 7.01, you watched a public service announcement, a PSA, um, and it was about, an argument to not, to avoid distracted driving. And it came from the viewpoint of a family who lost a loved one to distracted driving. And you looked at that. Okay. 7.02 is where you decided which prompt that you were going to write about. Okay. Are you going to write about that South Carolina does or does not do enough to prevent distracted driving? Or you are writing that about whether PSAs, public service announcements, do or don't help reduce accidents. All right. But you need to have the counterclaim as well because you're anticipating arguments against you in an argumentative writing. So, whatever side that you are on, you just anticipated an argument against you, and that would be your counterclaim. So, you did your claim and the counterclaim in 7.02. All right. In 7.03, you actually found or should have found 4 pieces of research, good research, that's going to help you prove your claim. Okay, all of these assignments are connected. All right, so you're going to be using your claim from here on out. Um, so the research that you found should be supporting your claim. All right. So whether you say um, that South Carolina does or does not do enough for distracted driving, or public service announcements do or don't help reduce the number of accidents, and then you need to find research to back that up. So that's what you did in 7.03. So make sure you have 4 good sources to use. .orgs, .govs, .edus, okay, stuff from the Department of Transportation in South Carolina. If you're doing the public service one, you'll need to probably um, research that, okay? All right, so then you found 4 pieces of research that are going to help you. In 7.04, you wrote your introduction. You have 7 to 10 sentences um, where you're grabbing the reader's attention. And at the end of that introduction paragraph, you have your claim, which is your thesis statement, as well as you've mentioned the counterclaim, how people feel opposite of you. Okay. Now you are getting ready to get into the meat of your essay, the meat of your sandwich. And that's 7.06. And that is where you are writing your essay, your argumentative essay. Okay. So let's take a look at 7.06. All right, we're going to learn the basics about writing our argument, a focus on writing the rebuttal. So you have the counterclaim, you need a comeback, a rebuttal for that, okay? If somebody comes up to you and is talking smack to you about something, are you just going to stand there? No, you're going to say something back. So that is your rebuttal, okay? So that's going to be your argument against the counter argument. All right. And you can take a look at this sentence structure activity as well. Okay. All right. So for this lesson, this will tell you about how to introduce your argument and to do your rebuttal, because it doesn't you don't want to make your essay sound like you're arguing with yourself, right? So you want to have it where some readers will disagree that South Carolina is not doing enough to prevent distracted driving. However, South Carolina just introduced these distracted driving laws, blah, 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 blah. All right. So go ahead and watch this short little video. Let's take a look at the text version of it. All right. So your convincing message, that's where you're going to have your, the language that you use, your ethos, logos, pathos. You're going to have the research that you have to back up how you feel. All right. It's going to show that you're a reasonable person, that you know that you're mentioning the other side, that you know not everybody feels the way you do. All right. But then you're going to counter argue why your stance is better. Okay. All right. So the three-part method that you're going to do, first, the opponent's argument. So that's the opposing view, people who feel opposite of how you do. All right. But you're not going to try to prove that. You're trying to prove your main points. Okay. But you're going to have that. All right. Then you're going to disagree, say why you're disagreeing with the argument or the position you are refuting. Okay. So the counterclaim, why you disagree with the counterclaim. All right. And then you will present evidence that proves the opposing view, that proves the counterclaim wrong. Okay. And again, watch this short little video. That should help you get through that. This is telling you with some grammatical things about trying to vary your sentence structure. You don't want to use simple sentences all the time. Okay, you want to change them up. Simple sentences, Chen loves to argue. You have a verb, a subject, a verb. All right. Compound sentence. Use your fanboys. You can have two complete sentences. Use a comma and one of your fanboys. Complex sentence, you can have that introductory clause followed by a comma and then an independent clause. And then, whoa, getting fancy with the compound complex sentences. All right. You have the introductory clause followed by a comma, an independent clause, and then a comma and a fanboy, and then another complete sentence, giving you a compound complex sentence. All right. So we're big boys and girls now. We can get over just the simple sentences all the time. In essays, avoid contractions. Contractions are like casual, and this is a formal, okay? This isn't us going to the club one night at Broadway. All right, this is us going to the prom. We're dressed up, okay? We're going out to eat. We're taking a limo. All right, so formal. So don't use contractions, don't use slang, don't use cliches, don't use abbreviations, okay? Just a formal type of writing. All right. All right, so let's take a look what you are doing. You are doing part 4 of the graphic organizer. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 should already be finished. Part 4, submit the body paragraphs. Okay, so you must write a multi-paragraph essay with no fewer than 2 body paragraphs. Okay, so you are going to mention the counterclaim, people opposite of you. All right. But then you're going to argue why your stance is better using your research that you found in part 3 or part 2, I believe. All right. And then you want a body paragraph, at least another body paragraph, again, proving why you think this is working for South Carolina, this isn't working for South Carolina, whichever choice you have made. All right. For your body paragraphs, some of you are submitting body paragraphs where your first sentence in your body paragraph is evidence. That makes no kind of sense. You need your topic sentence. Okay. What are you going to give me evidence about? Just don't give me the evidence. All right. Build me up a little bit for what the evidence is going to be about. Okay. So your topic sentence for your counterclaim might be although, so this is the opposite of you. So although South Carolina has distracted driving laws, comma, the statistics still show that accidents are occurring at an alarming rate. Okay. So then you would come in and say, however, since 2017, when South Carolina did this, all right, and then you want to present your research there. Okay. So you want to have topic, sentence, research, explain the research, provide a second example in that same body paragraph, and then explain it. Okay, so it's like say me matter. Okay, so give me at least 2 body paragraphs. An introduction paragraph is a separate paragraph. Give me at least 2 body paragraphs. All right, you've argued against the counterclaim, and then you have another body paragraph, again, supporting how you feel. And again, you are using the research that you found, all right, from part 2. You need to cite that within your body paragraphs. Okay, so say I use this as a source, and this is my, you did this citation machine, so you have what the citation looks like. Whatever is here, whether it's the author's last name or the title, is what you're going to use in the body paragraphs once you have presented the information. Okay, so if I say something like an article states that um, 1 out of every 4 teenagers will be involved in a distracted driving accident. Okay, I've presented research. It's not my research, it came from somewhere. So I can't steal it as my own. I got to give credit. So as soon as I finish presenting that research, I'm going to use this and put it in the parentheses at the end of the research, at the end of that sentence. Okay? That's your in-text citation or your parenthetical citation. If you don't have that, you've plagiarized, whether you've intended to or not. Each piece of research has to have this after it in a parenthetical citation. All right? And then you explain the research and how that proves your claim. Then provide the second piece of support. Also, have the in-text citation for that. All right, and then explain it. So have 2 nice paragraphs like that. Okay. All right, let's look what the grading rubric says. We've written an excellent body paragraphs with the rebuttal. You have used the sources that you found. You have written at least 2 excellent body paragraphs in spell check, grammar check, capitalize things. All right. And that is 7.06. That is the meat of your sandwich.